Hello everybody, thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jacqueline and in today's video I'm bringing you review, swatches, and this eye look using the brand new DIOR Backstage Custom Eye Palette. But before we get started, and if you're new here, I hope you will consider to subscribe to my channel and ring the little post notification bell so you get to know whenever I upload new videos. Also, it will be lovely if you can come and check my Instagram. And now, if you want to know more about this new DIOR Backstage palette, then just keep on watching. Alright, so we are in the eyeshadow palette trend. That's what's going on right now in September. This is what it's looking like. So August we have foundation, September eyeshadow palettes, and then the holiday season. I mean, you know, this is a roller coaster for the beauty industry. But today we're having the DIOR Backstage Custom Eye Palette. So I picked this up at Sephora. It costs $49. It is actually made in France. I know you can also find it at DIOR's website, so dior.com. You can find it there. And then let me show you the unicorn. So it is just like all the other DIOR Backstage line, silver, black, very simplistic type of packaging. That's what they go for on the DIOR Backstage because it's geared for makeup artists. Therefore, they make it very simple, very easy. And this is again called the Custom Eye Palette. It comes with 10 grams of product or 0.35 ounces of product, and it will last for 6 months after opening it. Now if you look up here, it will tell you aside of the name of the palette, it's also in 001 universal neutrals, which make me think that perhaps in a few months from now we're gonna be maybe seeing a 002, kind of like what we did with the face palettes. And now are you ready to see the actual palette? So here we go. This is the palette. It comes with 9 different shadows, and here you go, close up of this palette. So this palette is very interesting because again, this palette is geared for those who are makeup artists. You will have on the top a primer cream product, a top coat in gold, a shadow to liner gel, and then we have in the middle a highlighter in white. Then we have multiple shimmers. So we have a shimmery rust, shimmer taupe, shimmer platinum, shimmer bronze, and then we have a matte black shade. So only one matte shade on this palette. I know, that is very interesting right there, that they only have one matte shade. But this is also a palette that is all neutrals, so you get a little bit of your warmer tone right here on this rust shade as well as the bronze shade, and then a little bit more of your cooler tone on this shade right here, the taupe shade and the platinum shade, and then you have this black, which, you know, can go either way. And now this palette to me is very interesting because it does have, aside to the primer that we have seen before in other palettes, I mean we have seen the Huda Beauty New Nudes palette, it has a primer in it, but this has this formula that is a gel liner formula that actually you can dip into this shade right here and convert any of the shadows right here into an actually liner. So we're gonna try that today. But before we do so, I wanna go ahead and take swatches of the palette so you can take a look at it. The primer is a creamy shade, so I really don't see the point much to make a swatch, but there you go. Then we have the top coat in gold, which it actually feels a little bit gritty on the pan. Highlighter in white, shimmer rust, shimmer taupe, shimmer platinum, shimmer bronze, and matte black. Now I want to mention that the shadow to liner gel doesn't have any base to it, like it doesn't pull wide or anything, it goes completely clear on your finger. So I mean, that's why I say there's no really a point for me to swatch it, and it just feels super creamy, very thick. That's how it feels. Okay, my friends, now let me get you closer and let's start with the eyeshadow look. Okay, first I'm going to be using the primer, and I'm just going to use a concealer type of brush. My Scott Barnes number 62 brush, I'm gonna go into the shade Shimmer Taupe. And I'm gonna basically apply it on, not all over the lid, but from my socket bone down. Now with a Sigma E45 brush, I'm gonna go into Shimmer Rust. And I'm gonna start shaping my eyelid on my socket. And then I'm gonna take it out, kind of wing it a little, and then I'm gonna connect it. Now with my referral 02 brush, I want to go into this shimmer bronze shade, and I'm just going to take it here on this side. Now with an eyeliner brush, this is the way that DIOR suggests to apply it. You first put the gel, and then you dip into the shade that you want to be converted into an eyeliner. Okay, it's not showing off too much. So for the purpose of this video, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and use the gel again. And then I'm gonna dip into the black shade. Okay, that's a little bit better. Now I'm going to be using a clean brush. This is my BK Beauty 201 brush, and I'm just gonna, and it's clean, I'm just trying to diffuse a little bit the edges of the liner. I do have hooded eyes, so sometimes I need a little bit of diffusing just to disguise that I have so many falls on my eyes. I'm gonna go into the white highlighter shade in the pan. And I'm using, this is a very small brush from Morphe, it's a JH42, and I'm going to use it for my inner corner highlight and also for my brow bone. I think I like the way that the eyeshadow looks as right now. I was tempted to use this shade right here, the silver shade in the pan. I mean, it's really pretty, but I just kind of like this. It looks more like a matte look, and I don't know, I don't feel like I should put anything else. Okay, my friends, if I change my mind, I'm sure you will get to see it after I go ahead and put mascara on, perhaps eyelashes, so I will be right back with you. Alrighty, my friends, if you are curious to know what I have used on my lips, I just went ahead and used this Huda Beauty Anniversary Matte Lipstick. And for my lashes, I decided not to do eyelashes, so I just went ahead and used my Givenchy Disturba mascara. This is an amazing mascara. And then for my lower lash line, I used just a black eyeliner, and for my lower lashes, I used this Thrive Cosmetics Liquid Lash Extensions mascara. And this is a tubing mascara that I have been trying, and I actually like it. I like it quite a bit. Okay, friends, so going into my final thoughts about this palette right here. If you have been following me for a certain time right now, you know that I love that my palettes have a mirror. But on this case, I have to say, well, this is a backstage collection. And therefore it is for the makeup artist, something that is on the go, simple. I mean, the makeup artist is not gonna need a mirror you know, on the palette. So I understand the simplicity of it, and I like that it goes with the entire line. Now I will have to say, as far as the primer goes, I will suggest to go one eyelid at a time, because while I was filming the video, I applied it in both eyelids, and all of a sudden this eyelid started creasing after a little while because I had to stand up. I needed to pay attention to one of my children. So one eyelid at a time for the primer, that's good. Now these shades right here that they say they are shimmer shades, they are not intense shimmers. They look like soft matte on the eyelids, so I really love them because you can really work with them without having you know, too much of like a glittery type of look. For example, the only one that I like that is shimmer, I mean, I shouldn't say the only one because there's more that I like, but usually we see like Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadows they are usually the, you know, those shimmer, you know, kind of shades. These are not like that. These are like soft matte with a very light sheen to them, which they really make the eyelid look beautiful. I mean, in fact, right now my eyelids look like I'm actually wearing a matte shade more than a shimmer shade, but it has, you know, the softness of a actual shimmer shade. Hopefully you get it right there. I mean, for me, the ones that they are a little bit more shimmer, they are obviously this silver shade right here and this bronzy shade right here. Those are a little bit more punchy. These right here are kind of like more of a soft matte. Now, as far as this gel liner situation, I find it fairly simple to use. Now, don't be shy, dig into it, you know, make sure you go with your brush and you actually go one side to the other and, you know, coat it really well before dipping into any of the other shadows. The reason why is because otherwise it will grab the product, but it will not give you the intensity. And then again, this palette right here, it is with the mind of a makeup artist that is working backstage. So therefore, I mean, for most of the backstage situations and what I have been able to observe, they don't usually do like heavy looks. They do like a really nice wing, or just make it very simple with a shimmer like shade all over the eyelid, because they have to kind of like be a little bit like a chameleon, just change as the outfits change for, you know, whatever they are doing in the runway. So that's, I think this palette is a really good palette. Now, I know I will be missing to use this shade right here, but I think the palette, the color story is well planned. I mean, it doesn't have too much, you know, it's because these two shades right here, you cannot consider them shades. I mean, you are basically working with 7 shadows in total. This is just kind of like a commodity type of thing. I think you can get from this palette like a nice neutral look with these shades right here, this, the white one, the gold one right here, and this bronzy one, and then a cooler tone look with this shade right here, the silver, the taupey, the black, the white one too. So anyhow, that's that for this palette. I think it's a really beautiful palette. In fact, I was a little bit in doubt if to add it to my collection or not, but I'm happy I did. I'm really happy I did, because these are colors that I tend to use in, you know, daily basis. So this is a good one to keep, and you know, it's an easygoing one. The only thing for me is the, you know, the mirror, but I think that can be solved. That's not a problem, right? Another thing that I'm very impressed of is also that I didn't have any fallout with this palette right here. I don't know if it's because of the primer or not, because on my lower lash line I didn't use the primer and I didn't encounter any fallout, which I think is wonderful for these shades. Now obviously I didn't try this shade right here, the gold one. So I don't know how will that go, because it feels actually very gritty to touch, but it seems like it goes well, and I overall love the palette. I think my favorite shade in the palette, it is this shimmer taupey shade. It actually has an undertone kind of like my blouse, the one that I'm using right now, my top, and I like those tones because they are neutral, but they are not too neutral in the sense that you know it will make you look pale or anything like that. I think it's very complimentary. Okay, my friends, so this is the wrap up for this video. I hope you really enjoy it. If you did, please do not forget to give it a thumbs up. Also share it with somebody else that may like this type of videos. Don't forget to leave me on the comments below if you're planning to pick up this palette, if you want to just swatch it first. Do you like the concept of it? What are your thoughts? I would love to hear from you. Also, it will be lovely and I will greatly appreciate if you give me the opportunity and subscribe to my channel by just tapping on the is a red button, or it says in red subscribe, so just tap it in there below this screen, and do not forget to ring the little bell so that way you get to know whenever I upload new videos, because that's the only way that YouTube will let you know whenever your favorite YouTubers are uploading new creations. I'm wishing you all the best. Thank you so much for watching. Until the next time, you have a beautiful, wonderful day. Bye-bye.